The owner of Redbox has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Extreme E is now Extreme H, a hydrogen-powered racing series starting next year. And the AI prison of the future is just an Outer Limits episode. It's Monday, July 1st, and this is Engadget News. Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment, which acquired the movie rental service Redbox in 2022, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The company recently disclosed net losses of $636 million for last year in an SEC filing, and Deadline reported just a few days ago that it had suspended medical benefits and missed payroll, leaving employees without their paychecks for a week already. In a message to employees on Saturday, Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment said it had applied for a debtor-in-possession loan in an attempt to remedy the situation. The $375 million deal to acquire Redbox brought with it a ton of debt. And according to The Verge, Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment owes money to a slew of retailers, studios, and streaming platforms, including Walmart, Universal, and Sony, as well as other creditors. Its total debts come to about $970 million. Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment also owns the streaming service Crackle and a few other film and TV brands, in addition to selling the long-running self-help books it's best known for. Extreme E, the premium off-road EV racing series, is pivoting to hydrogen. The series announced last week that it's rebranding to Extreme H and unveiled a hydrogen-powered race car it's calling the Pioneer 25 to usher in the transition. The first season is slated to begin in April next year in Saudi Arabia, before heading to the UK, Germany, Italy, and then wrapping up in the US. Extreme E had its first race in 2021, putting electric off-road vehicles to the test, and as you might expect, in extreme environments like the desert. It got some major teams on board, such as McLaren. This year marks Extreme E's fourth season, and a blog post about the shift to hydrogen, founder and CEO Alejandro Agag said the move is not just about e-mobility, it's about creating green power solutions that can be applied anywhere, from remote locations to bustling cities. By launching Extreme H, they're not only showcasing the viability of hydrogen as a fuel source, but also testing the wider hydrogen ecosystem, including recharging and hydrogen transportation, as well as helping to create a market for it. Pioneer 25, Extreme H's flagship race car, is powered by a 75-kilowatt hydrogen fuel cell. According to the Prison Policy Institute, the U.S. has a higher incarceration rate per 100,000 people in its population than any other NATO country, and it's even higher than the next 5 member states combined, which are the UK, Portugal, Canada, France, and Belgium. So what's the solution? Hashim Al-Ghali, a molecular biologist and science communicator from Yemen, claims he's got it in an interview with Wired. Build a virtual prison instead. Now, he's not talking about stapling a bunch of MetaQuest 3s to prisoners' heads for years at a time, but that's also not far off from that concept. Al-Ghali is proposing a new neurological prison system that he calls Cognify. He posted a proposal video of the virtual justice system on his Instagram and YouTube channel, and it looks downright horrifying. Now, here's how Cognify works in a theoretical nutshell. Instead of locking prisoners up for long periods of time, prisoners would be subjected to artificial memories in a virtual environment. The system creates customized AI-generated content that's converted to visual information and delivered to the prisoner's brain, as well as the parts of their DNA and RNA linked to memory formation to establish a long-term memory pattern. Currently, such technology does not exist, and Cognify is only a proposal. However, Al-Ghali claims that experiments conducted on animals prove this process could work on humans at some point in the future. For instance, a study published in March in the scientific journal Nature that used mice as its test subjects found that memories are possibly formed by broken and repaired strands of DNA. Of course, there are ethical implications and effects that would need to be addressed if such a system were to become a reality. Al-Ghali says Cognify could happen within a decade from now, but only if we could overcome the ethical restrictions that limit testing such technology. If that doesn't send a shiver up your spine, then, check your wrist for a pulse. Horror anthology fans like me will remember an episode from the 1990s reboot of The Outer Limits on Showtime called The Sentence, in which a scientist, played by David Hyde Pierce, invents a very similar virtual prison system that simulates an entire life sentence within a matter of minutes. He, of course, subjects himself to his own invention that makes him believe he committed a murder and served an entire lifetime in prison. He wakes up only to start denouncing the very system he championed just a few minutes earlier. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube for free, and someone should send it to this guy. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and additional articles at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism by weekend editor Cheyenne McDonald and contributor Danny Gallagher, and was produced by Spoken Layer. Enjoy your day. I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.